superstars. The kids are back at school and so many of us are out and about and wanting to get back to normal. So we've got to continue to have these conversations about our immune system and what we can do to keep ourselves healthy as we navigate returning to society. It's just not realistic to stay locked down and quarantined forever, right? And none of us want that. So here are things we can do. It's going to mitigate the spread. It's going to help us all get stronger and help our immune systems fight off this virus. So whether you're a child, an adult, or somewhere in between, here's my number one rule. Don't know why these are in our house, but ditching the sugar is probably the first thing you can do to really help support and build the immune system. Here's the reason why. We know that sugar really causes an overgrowth of yeast or candida. That in turn spikes insulin and that triggers inflammation. And what we're seeing over and over again is that those with the most inflammation are having the toughest time, not just with coronavirus, but with any virus. They have a tough time helping their immune system fight off infection and disease. So we want to lose the sugar. Well, that connects us to another concept, and that's very much about digestive health and how we can support our digestion to minimize the amount of yeast that we're seeing in our gut. And there are different ways to do this, and this is where age may matter. Children may do some of these, they may not do all of them, but let's run through them. First of all, there's apple cider vinegar and water, which has been a favorite. I've talked about it in my book, The 21-Day Belly Fix, continue to use it to this day and continue to recommend it. But apple cider vinegar, even if you do about a teaspoon in some water and mix it together, it's about a 1-to-4 ratio. That in turn helps to minimize yeast, helps to reestablish healthy gut bacteria, and helps the digestive process, which again is going to take inflammation down because there's that gut inflammation connection, and we want to manage that to keep our immune systems pumped up. Now, connected to that, and this is one the kids may do, maybe a lemon or a lime and some water with a teeny tiny bit of honey. That will also help activate digestion. It doesn't kill candida necessarily the way apple cider vinegar and water can, but it can help to change pH and improve overall digestive health. And I've got 2 kids, and I know how hard it is to get them to follow along. So whatever you can sneak some of these things in, I think it makes a difference. All right, my product, the Belly Fix, also has different ingredients in it, like fermented turmeric, ginger, pre and probiotics, all of which are meant to help balance digestive health. So this is something you can also mix in some warm water, drink it as a tea, or mix it into one of your smoothies. All right, after thinking about sugar and gut health, we need to go next to food. The more of this stuff you can get in your diet, the better, because all of these greens or brightly pigmented fruits and vegetables have a ton of antioxidants. They have glutathione, vitamin C, vitamin A, and all of those are so critical for helping the immune system. In fact, when we look at immune pathways, we know that these are the nutrients needed to support the immune system. So getting these in, whether it's a green smoothie a day or 5 or 6 different servings of different fruits and vegetables in a given day, there are so many different ways to get these antioxidants in, but they are critical. Now, one more piece of this, and then we're almost there. Getting the right nutrients is about the right food. It's about good digestive health, but sometimes there are genetics which predispose us to not getting the nutrients that we need to support our immune systems. Let me give you an example. There is a gene called the VDR gene, believe it or not, that actually kind of tells us that people with this particular gene are not going to be able to metabolize vitamin D very well. They're going to need more vitamin D. They're going to need constant supplementation, either through fatty foods, nuts and seeds, or fatty fishes like salmon and tuna that are good sources of vitamin D, or they may need to supplement from time to time. So that's where we need to think about targeted, precise supplementation for patients that are tied to their chemistry and to their genetics. But here's the problem. Vitamin D is significantly low across the population, and the more pigment you have in your skin, we're noticing those vitamin D levels are even lower because we're not able to absorb it from the sun. There was an interesting study that looked at Northern Europeans versus Spanish and Italians and found that the Northern Europeans actually had higher vitamin D levels because they were absorbing so much from the sun versus the Spanish and the Italians who had more pigment in their skin. And that actually played out with who got sick and who didn't, and who was able to fight off an appropriate immune response to keep the population healthy. So that's an important one as well. Looking at vitamin D, understanding that it's very much a personal story. You should know your level. You should know where that vitamin D level is to really help you as you navigate out the next season of flu and cold and different viruses, and of course coronavirus as well. All right, one more thing I want to talk to you guys about today, if we're going to have a good conversation about the immune system, is other things you can do. So astragalus is a Chinese herb that I love, and it's been shown to help mediate T-cell mediated immunity. So the immune system has two arms, a T and a B cell arm, but T cell mediated immunity is really what helps us fight off viruses, and is highly dependent on some of what we just talked about: the right antioxidants, the right levels of vitamin D, good gut health, good digestion, good food, all of that other stuff. But if you are noticing that you're run down, or you're just trying to be proactive and preventive, taking astragalus every day seems to be something that actually works. And upping it to 3 times a day the minute you get sick is not a bad strategy at all. We've been using that in practice for over 10 years, and it's kept so many people healthy and well, even as their kids have gone back to school or they've had to go back to travel, as many of you may be doing soon. The Defender has astragalus, C, and zinc in them. Zinc, remember, thins respiratory secretions as well, so it's very helpful when we're dealing with upper respiratory and respiratory illnesses. So that's one to have in sort of your arsenal, so to speak, when you're thinking about what you need to do to boost the immune system. And then I actually love this product. This is Umka. Umka has geranium in it. It's just a flower, a derivative of a flower. The fancy name is Pelargonium psittacides, but that's actually been shown to help with respiratory infections and take down viral loads. So those are some of my favorite things when it comes to your immune system. Now, there's so much we didn't talk about, like the importance of sleep, getting deep, consistent sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours a night, 10 hours for your kids, managing stress, because we know stress spikes cortisol, which again in turn worsens our ability to fight off infection, and then making sure you're doing things that you enjoy, so being passionate, being joyful. All of this plays into the immune equation and keeping us all healthy. So that's what I've got for you guys today about the immune system. I hope it's helpful information. If you like these videos and want to see more like that, follow the link below, and we'll share all our immune boosting tips and guides and resources and products to keep us all healthy in the months ahead. Take care.